English is not my mother tongue, but I decided to talk about the mysteries of life in English, because it's related anyhow to the vagueness that I have in those topics. And it forces me to reduce my words to more simple sentences. Probably in my mother tongue I would be tempted to be quite complex. But anyhow, the result of thinking about the mysteries of life, and we all have questions. What's going on these days? What is the reason of everything? Where is my orientation? We need a way to find our orientation. But at the end, of course, everything what we are thinking is vague. That's why I started to bring you this wonderful book, Goethe's Faust. You know, the famous beginning of a scientist sitting there fighting with life because I studied so much and still I know nothing. The inside of most of the philosophers. To find orientation, I want to show you two things and tell a story about this. Do you know what this is? Watch yourself. Of course you know what this is. But do you know what this is? You see a color, watch the form. The leaf of a linden tree is the symbol of love. The shape of this leaf is the reason why we internationally make this sign of heart. How is it coming? Because you know, from my body, from the anatomy, my heart inside has a very different form. It looks very different from what we do in every emoticon and every signal at this. And the reason for this is the linden tree and this wonderful leaf in the shape of a heart. Why? In the old times, people were dancing under a linden tree in May. It was the first happening of the little villages, gathering. There was music, and that was a time to meet, to flirt, to marry, to kiss. And it was under the rooftop of a linden tree. It was such an old tradition that it became part of the European mythology. The goddess Freya as a symbol of the new life of spring. And her tree was a linden tree. What is really amazing, that this symbol found a worldwide attention till today, even that we have forgotten from where it's coming. It's a mystery of life. It's so deep that we have, most of us, forgotten the roots, the origin. But when you want to fix it, it will get lost, because it's a lot of stories. I can't go there back to this time. I can read books about this time, yes, but I was not part of the society. At that time, there was not this kinds of standard for documentaries that we have today. To be part of it and really to see that love, in this deep sense, very simple, very practically and very deep, was performed under a linden tree. And that this was so simple and so wide that the symbol of the leaf became the symbol of love and life. So what we see is something different what it means. What we see is a green leaf. I just picked it up from the linden tree behind in my yard. It's May. In the moment, nobody is allowed to dance under a linden tree. This is the old symbol of society and to bring future to society, because, of course, under the linden tree, the new generation was created. Marriage, love, going to future. The other symbol that I want to tell a story is this. Probably it's the first time that you see it. It's very different from this green young leaf. This is a bone. And when you think about and you watch it, you have many ideas probably. So when you never studied anatomy or a doctor, probably you have never seen this bone. But it's nothing special. You have this bone in your body like I have it. It's a sphenoid bone, which is the central bone in our skull. It's around here inside, so here on the nose. This here is the only part that we can feel here. This is the inner structure, like what keeps our skull in a good architecture. Here are the eyes and here the ears. We see, and what we hear is organized in this structure. And when you look deep to it, it's fascinating. It seems to be alive, right? I do a research about this bone for now 7 years, 8 years. A lot of people I ask, what do you see in it? Most of the people see two different things. The ones are watching or seeing a butterfly, and the others see a bat. Two animals that in our symbolic way are connected to light and to darkness. A flying object, but this is a part of us. Studying anatomy, studying the human body was always a source for all the genius of the old time. Trying to understand life, trying to understand life and death, regarding how is somebody dying, working with death, dealing with death, touching death. Goethe was, of course, one of the last, maybe last, I don't know, but one of the big genius who has been interested in everything, in art, in science, in life, future and past. And his Faust is going through hell to make new insights about life. And this inspiration I want to give to you, a symbol of love, of our heart, is connected to dancing under a linden tree, to build a society, to open the door for the future. This is very young, just fresh. One season, in autumn the leaves fall down. This is part of life too. That looks very ancient, right? Some people told me it's scary, but it's not scary, it's part of you. It's just inside, you don't see it. So the invisible things are not scary. But the invisible things are life. They create life, they build the statics and the aesthetics of life. When you watch into my face, you see my surface, my skin, my nose, but you don't see my sphenoid. But I feel it inside, I know it's here, like you have this inside too. And my heart, my love, my belief in life, you don't see it here. What you see is a linden, a leaf of a linden tree. And it's not only knowledge, that we can learn what this means in the history of humans. No. I think you can feel it. When you close your eyes and go to the next linden tree and watch it and see and realize the shape of a heart, and you see every linden tree, every leaf is different, but you always have this shape of the heart. It's not knowledge that brings us to life. It is watching, feeling, going deeper into the meaning. And like this book, the end of the book is not knowledge, even that Faust was studying a lot. The end of this book is going on to deepen the mystery, the research, the journey into the mystery of life. Faust, the second part of Faust, ends with his famous words that I don't know to translate correctly, but you know, it goes into the world of the mothers. Very ancient relation inside, of course, in our spiritual level. Those two items are part of your life. Very easy these days. This you have inside, this you find on the street. And for all the big questions that you have, for the information that you receive so much, news, fake news, documentaries, articles about what's going on. And still maybe you're not sure if you'll find orientation. Try the linden tree, try the sphenoid. When I combine this, I call it the heart of my sphenoid. This is what C.G. Jung recommended at the end of his life, that humanity only can grow when they start to bring thinking and feeling together. Not in the concurrence that we are used to, that intelligence brings us to other solutions than feelings. Only when we connect our heart with our thoughts, and in a simple way, in this deep way, then we will find answers. And the vagueness of these answers are nothing bad. I know, and I'll be honest, of course, the last weeks frequently I was looking for the right answer, for the truth. What's going on there? But let's be honest, this is not our real goal, that we find the one answer, what is true. But I have to find an orientation to do a step, because we are responsible for what we are doing. And every sphenoid has its shape, but every sphenoid looks a little bit different. When you go to the internet, you can type in sphenoid. I will write it down here in the comments, so you can find more information. And you will see it like our fingerprint. It looks different in your skull, but it's the same bone. Like every linden tree is different and every leaf of one tree is different, but they all are in the shape of a heart. This vagueness belongs to our life. And I want to encourage you, find your own responsibility in this. Trust your sphenoid, your inner insight, because we know nothing, and we know that we have everything inside. The nature is going on if we understand it with a certain kind of science, or if we just watch it. And at the end, I change to my mother tongue, because I want to share the most precious poem that I know from this famous German poet and genius, Goethe. It's a poem that I only dare to speak in German, but I will write it in the comments in English translation, So in the description, and then you can, when you don't understand these German words, you can follow it in English. Selige Sehnsucht. Sagt es niemand, nur den Weisen, weil die Menge gleich verhöhnet. Das Lebendige will ich preisen, das nach Flammentod sich sehnet. In der Liebesnächte Kühlung, die dich zeugte, in der du zeugtest, überfällt dich fremde Fühlung, wenn die stille Kerze leuchtet. Nicht mehr bleibest du umfangen von der Finsternis Beschattung, und dich reißet neu Verlangen auf zu höherer Begattung. Keine Ferne macht dich schwierig. Kommst geflogen und gebannt und zuletzt des Lichts begierig, bist du, Schmetterling, verbrannt. Und solange du das nicht hast, dieses Stirb und werde, bist du nur ein trüber Gast auf der dunklen Erde.